Each product has its customer. That is what I know from my personal experience. The tail goes like this, 6.44 inches. Well, that sounded like way too much. And really, I was pretty sure that Xiaomi Max will be too big to even consider for daily use. But if you looked my unboxing video, you will know that this statement is now false. Having that on mind, we can go further and start speaking about internal hardware, which have its handle. Xiaomi is keeping its philosophy to have more variations of hardware for same product, and personally I was never a huge fan of it, but that is just my opinion. So we have 4 versions with 2 different chipsets. In the first group we have a weakest option with 16GB of storage and 2GB of RAM. Next one is a 32GB of storage with 3GB of RAM, and this is a unit in the review. Both of these are powered with Snapdragon 650 chipset. In the second group we have a 64GB of storage with 3GB of RAM, and most generous version is 128GB of storage with 4GB of RAM. These two are powered with Snapdragon 652. Personally, I find that 32GB version with 64GB version, which I see now costs nearly the same as 32GB model, to be sweet spot or best buy. Enough with internal hardware, let's focus on exterior. Xiaomi Max is a unique breed of phones. I never had experience with huge device like this. I had fears about usability, weight, and so on. But now, with the device in the hands, I changed my opinion. Looking device from the front top part, we see a speaker from grill, which is loud and clear, no complaints about that. Proximity sensor with ambient light sensor are present. LED notification light is here, and only subjective complaint is that it could be a bit bigger. Front-facing 5MP camera with f2 aperture is doing job pretty well. And guess what? It is not enough to just say the camera is pretty well. Front-facing camera is really good, one of the best I tested in this segment, if not the best. This is a Xiaomi Max front-facing camera video test. It is a full HD video, and I believe that is really good because the front-facing camera is overall really good performer with still photos. Front-facing camera. Pictures are really pleasant for the eye, sharp with good colors. I don't have any complaints about that, and these samples here speak for themselves. Moving at the bottom, we see 3 capacitive touch buttons with backlight. No need to waste too much words about them. Excellent feedback and real joy to use. Main star of the front is 6.44-inch IPS screen with resolution of 1920 by 1080. And guess what? Screen quality is better than average in this segment. Only sad part about it will be not being an AMOLED screen, which will be blow mind thing in this already good package. I don't have complaints about pixel density. Screen is sharp and overall very good quality. For this size and considering price of the device, it is excellent unit. Viewing angles are good enough, with soft fade when you increase the viewing angle. Colors are good and brightness is just a bit more than average for my taste. This won't be a problem in any situation unless you are spending majority of time outdoors. Don't get me wrong, you will be perfectly able to see what is on the screen, but it is not the best I've seen. Frame of the device is nearly full metal. It is not standard Xiaomi build philosophy, there is a tiny change. But first let's look at the bottom. We see 2 grills. Right one is hiding speaker, which is one of the loudest I heard ever. On maximal level there is no distortion. It is mono speaker, but it sounds really good. Left one is covering microphone, for which I have just words of positivity. Between there is a micro USB port for charging and synchronization. At top part there is a 3.5mm jack. Sound provided from it is excellent, loud and clear, and I believe that it will satisfy your audio needs. Infrared blaster is somewhat standard on Xiaomi. How much is useful? Well, there is no need to speak about that. Noise cancellation microphone is in smallest hole of these three. At the right side we see a volume controls with power on-off button. They are made of metal and have excellent feedback on press. Left side have just a SIM tray slot, which accepts nano and micro SIM card with option to put a micro SD card in place of micro SIM. Unique backside of Xiaomi. Well, is this also the case here? Well, yes, it is, but this time there is a but in this tail. Backside is made of metal, at least majority of it. Top and bottom are made of plastic, but not like before. Before, just backplate part was plastic, and now even the part of the phone frame is plastic made. Honestly, not a big deal, but worth to mention. Top part of the back is filled with 16 megapixel f2 aperture and dual-tone LED flash. Pictures you look are, of course, taken with Xiaomi Max, and I am personally really satisfied with final output. Images are sharp and full of details, colors are pleasant for the eye, and even when we start to go in low light shooting, camera is able to retain quality with minimal amount of noise. I can easily say that camera on Xiaomi Max is its strong point. Let's not speak too much about pictures, let the pictures speak about themselves. Video quality is thin area always, and here we see that 1080p is good enough to not call it a mediocre. You get constant 30 fps with around 15 megabytes of bitrate, which could be a bit higher. 4K at 24 fps is available, and it provides what it lacks on 1080p, and those are details and bitrate. Overall, you won't be sorry when you record something. I just say that it could be better. I can't wait to tell you how Fingerprint Sensor works, and it will be easy, which is a good thing, because when it is easy it means that it works good and there is not that part where I say but. No complaints here, it works like charm. Love it. Android 6 is on board. My device got preloaded with MIUI 7.3, but I immediately flashed newest MIUI 7.5 global. Keep in mind that MIUI 8 is in testing and I will cover that in future video. General experience with Android and MIUI is excellent, everything is smooth, filled with a lot of additional features, which are always a welcome addition. Customization is on high level with onboard Team Manager. 3GB of RAM proved to be enough for me, and I am heavy app user. I didn't encounter any moment in which Max struggled or slowed down. It provides consistency in performance, so overall no complaints, real joy to use. Benchmark results are something to be proud of. Snapdragon 650 performs really well. Phone fly in everyday usage, there is no task which will slow it down. This is also the case for games, and for them we have a dedicated graphic chip Adreno 510. From provided footage you can see that Max is knife and games are butter. I really enjoyed testing games on Xiaomi Max. I didn't stumble upon game which will be laggy, everything was smooth as baby skin. One more thing to note, which is a huge advantage, a big screen of Xiaomi Max proven to be a real joy to play games on it. 4850 mAh is battery size, and to put it in simple words, this was my first day of usage, setting up of the device, all apps and games installations, in short a lot of on-screen time. And battery lasted and lasted, percentage was dropping so slow, Viber calls didn't interrupt that neither. 2 days of heavy usage with everything included, YouTube, chatting, voice calls, games, and on top of all this, Geekbench battery test result provided nearly 13 hours. A pure win here. As we reach to the end of this review, concluding things is once more easy for a Xiaomi phone. From my point of view, some people can have a problem with size of Xiaomi Max. But again, for others, it is a huge plus, like me. I really like the size, and yes, it is big, but it fits in my hands perfectly. Yes, I have huge hands and Max fits in them excellent, but you need to keep this factor on mind when you consider this device. I will leave that for watchers to decide, but everything other is without space to be debated, starting from design, build, and then moving to internal hardware and overall user experience. Everything is more than excellent. Yes, of course, there is always space for improvement, but at this point of time, and when we sum all this up, Xiaomi Max doesn't have competition in this segment. I will tell you that I am selling my iPhone 6s and leaving Xiaomi Max to be my daily driver. What is your decision after watching this review? Leave answer down below in the comments because I'm really interested. I bought Xiaomi Max on GearBest. You can check out links in the box below. If you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe, and until next time guys, see ya!